Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Leadership Lounge with Marlowe Foster. A wild and bumpy ride ahead. That is what is in store for us. My mom used to say, keep a little something in your back pocket because you never know when it's going to rain. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's pouring now. I wanted to take a look today at the COVID-19 crisis through an electoral lens. First, let me say to all Democrats that believe this pandemic will be the nail in the coffin for President Trump, you are absolutely wrong. Maybe. While President Trump's daily briefings have been meandering, he has proven over time to be much like the Teflon Don.
Thank you very much. I would like to begin by announcing some important developments in our war against the Chinese virus.
Why do you keep calling this the Chinese virus? There are reports of dozens of incidents of bias against Chinese Americans in this country. Your own aide, Secretary Azar, says he does not use this term. He says ethnicity does not cause the virus. Why do you keep using this? A lot of people say it's racist.
It's not racist at all. No, not at all. It comes from China. That's why. Comes from China. I want to be accurate.
There are some, at least one White House official, who used the term Kung Flu, referring to the fact that this virus started in China. Is that acceptable? Is it wrong? Are you worried that having this virus be talked about as a Chinese virus, that might help?
I wonder who said that. You know who said that?
I'm not sure the person's name, but would you condemn the fact
say
that
the term again?
A person at the White House used the term Kung Flu. My question is, do you think that's wrong, Kung Flu? And do you think using the term Chinese virus, that puts Asian Americans at risk, that people might target them?
No, not at all. I think they probably would agree with it 100%. It comes from China.
Regardless of political party, what you sign up for as president is taking the good with the bad. If the public perceives we have somehow managed to escape this pandemic relatively unscathed, and I capitalize the word relatively, President Trump will get the credit. If we as Americans feel we haven't escaped relatively unscathed, he will get the blame. Now, for all the Democrats out there measuring the drapes for the Oval Office, beware. There is a problem in the candidacy of Joe Biden. Whether he is experiencing slight mental decline or continues to battle with stuttering, which often causes verbal missteps, or for some other unknown reason, he often causes great concern with his meandering answers to questions. Whether you want to admit it or not, Donald Trump is a master of modern media and a great communicator. Joe Biden is not. For those who consider themselves enlightened, they don't want to recognize Trump's communication ability and don't understand its nuance. But the ability is there and it is effective. Joe Biden is a bulldozer who bludgeons you into acceptance. Donald Trump is a bulldozer with an X-Acto knife edge. He bludgeons, and then he shapes the contours with surgical precision. Any political analyst who says they know where this is headed is lying to themselves. President Trump's pontifications at the podium during his coronavirus briefings are only outdone by Biden's inability to string together a coherent sentence on what he would have done differently. Take a listen to this Biden answer.
This is Sarah Haynes. In Hot Topics, we talked about Trump saying the government would reassess the recommended period for keeping businesses shut and people at home. Are you at all concerned, as Trump said, that we cannot let the cure be worse than the problem itself?
We have to take care of the cure. That will make the problem worse no matter what.
What the what? If this answer occurred during a debate with President Trump, Biden's campaign would be done. Trump would employ his bulldozing scalpel and deliver one big blow to Biden's body, followed by a death by 1,000 cuts. Now let's be clear. Trump has a zillion Bush II-like verbal landmines in his future as well. His pronouncements that we are defeating the, quote, invisible enemy are simply not true. We are fighting like hell, but we are not winning right now. Let's listen to this infamous clip from President George W. Bush.
Again, I want to thank you all for, and Brownie, you're doing a heck of a job. The FEMA director's working 24 hours.
Maybe another president would have done a better job, and maybe not. But the reality is much like this pronouncement from Bush II regarding Katrina, Brownie wasn't doing a heck of a job, and President Trump hasn't done a heck of a job. There have been huge mistakes and missteps. Some of it is his fault, some of it is not. Just as much as Americans love a winner, they hate arrogance that leads to hurt and harm. And from Trump's base, they hate arrogance that disproportionately impacts the little guy. Health disparities are clearly on display as it relates to COVID-19. As a Forbes article stated, 15% of the American population lives in rural areas, and the average age of rural Americans is 73.3 years old. This is incredibly bad news when it comes to COVID-19, and incredibly bad news for President Trump. This is his base. Being older, as well as having additional health issues, have proven considerably more dangerous for those who contract the virus. This statistic alone could be a nail in the coffin for a President Trump re-elect. This is the Leadership Lounge with Marlowe Foster.